Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently working with the United States military on their new enlistment recruiting program. Think that sounds made up? Head on over to goarmy.com and take a look for yourself. Endorsing a movie about a fake alien invasion to help enlist real people to fight real wars. Against who? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, again, you're trying to take in the curvature of the Earth. That's 8 inches per mile squared. You're simply going to be out of luck. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, and you want to listen to it live, as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. Would love to have you. And besides, if you listen to it live, you might be able to call in, like tonight. Those people out there right now who are listening. The quote of the day is from Douglas Adams, sent to us by a listener. Human beings who are almost unique in having the ability to learn from the experience of others are also remarkable for their apparent disinclination to do so. Which means a lot of people really don't learn anything. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Special shout out to Jeffrey Grupp, who recently did a debate with Red's Rhetoric. I told Jeffrey I'd do this for him, and I think he was serious when he was asking this. Jeffrey Grupp is willing, basically, at this point, to debate anyone. He's like a big surly guy in a bar looking for a fight. And he's going to fight somebody. There's absolutely no question whatsoever. So anybody that wants to debate from a globalist standpoint against Jeffrey Grupp, I think Red's Rhetoric, honestly, was beneath him. I don't think much of that guy, and I advise Jeffrey not to do it, but you know what? Again, surly guy in a bar. He's going to fight somebody. And so now it's like, you know what? This guy was easy. Who else is there? So anybody who wants to debate against Flat Earth, or if you know anybody that wants to debate against Flat Earth, and when I mean anybody, you got to have at least something. You got to have a YouTube channel or a web page or something. You just can't be any guy. I'm not saying you have to be a scientist, although that would help. So please contact me at msargent23@comcast.net, or you can give me a call at 303-494-6631 and leave a message on that machine, and I will set you up with Jeffrey Grupp's contact info, and you guys can go at it, either pre-recorded or live. I'm not exactly sure what he prefers. I think he prefers live at this point. Jeffrey Grupp, biggest brain in the Flat Earth movement because he has an enormous cranium. His head actually may be bigger than mine. I wear a size 8 hat. And if you guys know anything about hat sizes, that's one step from being, subject to gigantism. Because kind of like shoe size. Once you get over size 13, you got to go to a big and tall shop, usually. Size 8, that's about as far as you can go. And I think Jeffrey Grupp has bigger hat size than that. I don't know if he's ever been sized for it. Anyway, so anyone wants to do that, please, by all means, let me know. And I will set you up, and it'd be great. I'd love to be part of it. I'm not saying I would actually debate. Jeffrey is just so hot on this topic. I'm really, really happy he's doing it. So tonight, we are doing call-ins like we did last time, although I don't have a guest with me tonight. So if anyone wants to call in and talk to me live about whatever, it doesn't even have to necessarily be Flat Earth. I'm kind of poking around because the new show that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about in a second, is going to be about Flat Earth a lot, but I'm also going to entertain other topics, and I'll tell you one in a second. But before that, let's get to the phone number, shall we? And wow, that was fast. That took 2 seconds. Phone number, I'll pick you up in a second. Hang on, whoever that is. Phone number is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. That is not a toll-free number, so long-distance rates may apply depending on where you're calling from. I'm going to pick up this caller right now. Here we go. You are on the air live.
Hey, Mark. It's Mark from New York. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Just sitting out on my back porch, actually looking at the moon. We don't have a chemtrail sky this evening in New York.
Nice.
So it's beautiful.
Nice. What's on your mind this fine evening?
Not much. I was just calling. I saw that that recruitment for the alien thing. Holy crap! It's
I
just like
know.
Starship Troopers. I was like, wow,
That's exactly what I
unbelievable.
thought. Because Starship Troopers, that great '90s movie, that was one of my favorite '90s movies. That was kind of it was a parody. It was they were recruiting, but it was fake, right? Because it was like enlist, be a citizen, because it was all in the future. This was no joke.
Yeah, I know.
It was.
Unbelievable.
I was the first time. Now, you, if you watch movies, you know full well that the military has, not been shy about showing off their stuff for years. Take it all the way back to Top Gun in the '80s, or most recently, like the movie Battleship. There's some Navy stuff in there. They're not shy about this, but this is the first time I've actually seen them stamp an endorsement on there. And last time I checked, the Army is kind of their contractors make a lot of money, but the Army is a nonprofit organization. So when they come on, and I'm watching this, and I'm kind of looking at it objectively, and I'm going, wait a minute. You're talking about an alien war that never happened back in 1996, and then you're hinting at another one to come, but you're using it as a recruiting tool to recruit real people for other wars, real wars, not
for the real army.
It was bizarre. I was like, because at this point, and some people are going to say, well, why don't you know where this goes, right? This is the slippery slope where it goes. It's like, well, at this point, you could make up anything you wanted, and conspiracy guys would be like, oh, I don't know, like a fake war against ISIS. One of those things, creating a fake enemy to simulate real people. But in this case, it's like, man, you're going a little too far. It's like a fake alien war.
Yeah, the sad part is they'll actually get people based on that. They'll see that and be like, oh, maybe it is a good idea if I just join the Army for a little while.
Yeah.
You know what? How come all suits in Washington, D.C., their kids aren't in there?
There you go.
There
you go.
Oh, it's frustrating. I just get angry because my brother's on his 5th tour. He's in Djibouti, Africa.
Oof.
And it's like they don't send the rich people's kids.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Well, don't get me started on the who sung that song. I Ain't No Senator's Son. Credence. Credence.
Wow, you are as old as I am.
Pretty close. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am a little old. I love media though. I love the older media, and there's classics are classics, plain and simple. But look about your I'm sorry, was your brother?
Yeah.
Was he stopgapped? Did they drag him back in, or did he actually volunteer?
Oh no. He's been reservist for like almost 26 or 7 years, something like that. So it's right out of high school.
Got it.
And he went active, and he's just been going over and getting, I don't know, just getting, because his unit.
Yeah.
I'll say his unit is in civil affairs. Yeah. So there's not a lot of them, that have the specialties, languages, things like that.
There you go.
Plus, he's also a logistics guy.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah. Well, okay. So it's not as bad. It's not like he's doing infantry front-line house to house.
No, not anymore. No, he's a major now.
Oh, that's good.
But the first time he went, he was a butter bar lieutenant.
Nice. I forgot that was one of the terms, butter bar.
Oh yeah, sorry. Army brat. Dad's a retired E8. I never joined. I was like, I'm not doing that. I did the sheriff's department, and I was good.
Nice.
I didn't want to do the Army.
Nice.
Too much in your face. Do what I say, and mental games. It's so obvious. And since I was a kid, I've seen it because my dad. I lived that. Dad was a Marine Corps drill instructor.
Oof.
So you could see it already when he's telling you to do things, and the way he would say them, and the cadence and the tone, and it's so programmed. Much programming.
Yeah. I wasn't, I was never, not to get off on a tangent here, but I was never a huge fan of drill instructors, mostly after watching the 80s movie Stanley Kubrick, as a matter of fact, Full Metal Jacket.
Hey, I wonder, has anybody torn that apart and found any moon stuff or aliens?
No, but that's you're right. We should probably tear apart more of Stanley's stuff. But I think he got out of his system in The Shining in 1980, because I'm pretty sure, I think I'm not going to look it up right this second, but I'm pretty sure Full Metal Jacket was either 87 or 88. And yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
fantastic movie. But
Awesome
real
movie.
quick on what you were talking about the Army doing these commercials. The reason I brought it up was and kind of tied it to the whole flat Earth thing was because I've said since day one, I said, look, the flat Earth is not the end of this scenario. It is not the end of this storyline. It is a setup for something else. There's something else coming. There's something else tied to this that is way more dynamic. I mean, flat Earth is actually fairly static by comparison. It's like, yeah, you can find out about flat Earth and a lot of things will change, but it's not like, flat Earth, it's not like the sky is falling type of thing. You've got to have a catalyst that goes with it. And there's only two things people have really been talking about. One is some sort of staged alien event, and the other is some sort of staged celestial event like a Planet X thing, Nibiru, that whole thing. And so I was like, that was perfect because the Army just this week, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing that. We're going to be promoting the Independence Day movie. It's not even a reboot; it's a continuation. And it's like, really, that's what you're doing. You're going to promote this movie. It's like, and you're going to like an Earth Defense Force. It's not like they're recruiting. If you go to the website, which is even weirder, it's a full blown. You look into this like this Earth Defense System thing, and you go down with all these things, and eventually, if you dig in deep enough, then you can get to an Army recruiting center. It's like, wow. It's like, really? What else?
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else?
You're going to embed that in there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, did you happen to listen to? And I don't know if you like, because I know I don't like this guy. Reg Rhetoric. He did a debate with.
I just mentioned him at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to call.
Yeah, I know you're trying to call in. No, it's that again. Weird synchronicity. Yeah, I mentioned. Yeah, Jeffrey Grupp, as a matter of fact.
What the hell, man? And you know what? I wouldn't mind listening to his arguments because some of his stuff makes sense. But what a condescending a-hole! Yeah, I'm sorry, I got to say it. I just don't like that.
Yeah,
don't talk down to people. Please explain. I'm not an idiot. I just want to understand.
Oh,
if you have more knowledge than me, explain it to me. Don't be condescending.
Yeah, it gets worse than you know, man, because the guy's like 17.
Is that the problem?
Yeah, he's like 17 years old, and he's super young. Now, he is fairly articulate. He can throw a phrase around here and there, but
he
was up against Jeffrey Grupp, though. I mean, Jeffrey's got way too much horsepower under the hood, and he was just waiting for him. And after a while, it was getting silly. Jeff was just leading him into places. Not that it was turning into a rope-a-dope thing, another dated reference.
No, I thought he handled it very well.
Yeah,
I thought he handled it very well. He didn't get into that. I mean, I could sense a little agitation, but I would be too.
Yeah,
because not for nothing, but I'm a big man. You wouldn't sit across the kitchen table having a discussion with me and talk to me like that.
Yeah,
I'll stomp the life out of you. Okay, we can talk about anything, but don't be that way. You don't have to have that attitude.
Yeah,
I get it now. I didn't know he was young. So
yeah. Okay. He's real young, and he doesn't want to, like anyone. The only way you're going to be immune from this whole thing that's happening, I'm not going to call it a movement anymore. I'm going to try to force it into the word. Somebody mentioned to me recently, call it an awakening. The only way you can be immune is if you just don't look at it, and he won't look at it. He will not open Pandora's box. He just sits on the outside and says the box is stupid, the box is dumb. Anyone that looks at the box is a moron. And he won't go down that road. But anyway, what I was getting at was Jeffrey was so happy about the debate that he contacted me. He says, look, he goes, mention it on your show. He goes, I will debate anyone that comes at me. But of course they've got to have some credential. I mean, at the very least, they got to have a YouTube channel or a website or something. But he's saying, look, I'll take all comers. Just bring them up. I want to start punching people. And it's like, right on, good dude.
Well,
good for you.
I mean, I like that he brought up, some of the things that. Why the hell is there any fighting about anything? We should all. I mean, it doesn't matter which way it goes. It's plain and obvious that there's lies and deception. And I say it all the time. So we should kind of all be on the same team and just, have our different ideas. Okay, that's great because nobody really knows.
Yeah.
It's all theory. Some of the theories are rock solid and sound awesome, but they're still theory.
We'll get there.
Right.
I mentioned the reference to Life of Brian, the Monty Python movie, and that's really that's not gone away. Which is, when Brian drops his shoe and everyone's following,
the shoe,
and everyone thinks he's the Messiah, so they're trying to understand the meaning of the shoe, and all of a sudden, 4 or 5 religious factions break out on the meaning of the shoe. And that's really what it is. Yeah, everyone knows that the globe is a lie, but right now no one can fully agree on what exactly the shape is. And so everyone, and so these camps, that's going to happen. I know that.
It turns my stomach. It's not necessary.
I know.
Not necessary.
It's all right. Again, don't worry. This thing will go forward, and in the end, something bigger is coming.
I know.
It's going to change everything.
Well, I was going to say I got 2 quick things. One, yes, you're right. I feel like something bigger is out there. It's something's going on because it's not being crushed like they could with the way they adjust and
exactly.
manipulate the media, and it's everywhere. I'm hearing it from like friends of mine who know that, hey, I was always into UFOs. I go to MUFON conventions, all that stuff. Are coming to me with, hey, did you hear about flat Earth? What's this? What's that? Did you ever hear about that one? Yeah, and I'm like, really? You heard about that? I'm like, dude, I don't talk about that one to anybody. My dad, and he laughs at me, and then he's like, you know what? It makes sense.
Yeah, it's becoming this whispered topic in circles now, which it's spreading in whispers, and I love it. Especially in conspiracy circles, it's like, yeah, we've all heard about this and that. But have you heard about this new sexy thing? It's called flat Earth. People's like, get the hell out of here. It's like, no, it's a real thing, dude. It's this weird taboo topic that I love. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's coming out everywhere, and it's like you said, whispers. It's too funny. Yeah. Oh man.
Anything else I can do for you?
Yeah, real quick, and I'll let you go. I'm sure you got other callers.
Yeah.
I just got a brake kit, an upgraded brake kit for my 300.
Nice.
I'll keep you updated. Updated on Project 300.
Let me know. Send me pictures when you get a chance.
Yeah, I just ordered some exhaust pieces too. There's a company. Actually, I don't know if you're into it, and then I promise I'll shut up.
Okay.
There's a company, and you're not endorsing them, called Bustin' Bob's. And what they do is they make a resonator delete kit. So those 2 big suitcases you have hanging off the back bumper?
Yeah.
Underneath where the tailpipes come out?
Yeah.
You eliminate those, so you save weight, and it gives you a little bit more sound. Not a lot, only about 5-6 decibels, but it helps to flow, so you get better flow and the car runs better.
Cool.
And I like the noise, and they're cheap. $160 for 2 stainless steel pipes and tips. It shows you right where to cut them. You cut your factory pipe, it slips right over. You put the clamp on, hang it in place, and you got beautiful, nice 4-inch stainless steel tips.
Fantastic.
And a better sound.
Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome. Love it. All right, man. Hey, you have a good evening. Okay?
You too. I'll keep listening. I'm just, like I said, I'm enjoying the moon. I can actually see it tonight. No chemtrails, no chem clouds.
Right on. Have a good one. Don't be a stranger.
All right. Absolutely not. Have a good one.
See ya.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I haven't even, I was going to fill some of these gaps with emails, but I got to give out the phone number now again. So if you want to call in and talk to me live, we got about 5 minutes until the break, maybe 6. The number is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. Operators are standing by. That is not true. You can call in, and actually this number bypasses the entire switchboard. It just goes straight to me. So don't be mean. No haters. All good things. Feeling the flow. Positive energy. While I am waiting for phone calls, please enjoy some emails. Mark, just want to thank you for putting up your website and sharing your thoughts and findings. I just found your website and have listened to some interviews. I'm impressed. I look forward to learning more of what you think. About 10 years ago, I stumbled upon moon landing discrepancies, did some research, and since have found many laughable things. And it's the same guy that's calling in? Really? Same guy? Hang on one second. I'm going to pick up this call. You're on live.
Hey, Mark, it's Mark again. Sorry to bother you. I am terribly sorry, but for the second time, I forgot to tell you.
Yes.
My friend lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and he says there's a peak there called San Francisco Peak.
Okay.
It's called Humphrey Peak or something like that, but they say you can see the lights of San Francisco from there, and that's Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona.
Right on. Somebody else look that up. Do the math on it. Okay, thank you.
All right, good night.
All right,
bye.
See you, bye. All right, back to this. About 10 years ago, I stumbled upon moon landing discrepancies, did some research, and since have found so many laughable things that NASA and authorities try to make people believe. I've had so many thoughts and questions bouncing around in my head that I have been reluctant to really debate the blue marble thinkers. Questions like weight. Wouldn't there be a weight difference between the North Pole and the equator? When I heard you bring it up, I felt a sense of connection. I found a guy who is on the same page as me. I have to say I'm excited, relieved, and happy to finally find someone who thinks for himself and has put it all together coherently. I've been also amazed at how angry people can get, friends and family, when I bring up this topic. But I am learning how to share my thoughts without being labeled an idiot. I'll be pointing people to your site from now on. Thanks again, Jesse Hahn, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Yeah, you're right, Jesse. People do get angry, and that's, again, mostly because of the conditioning. If you are shown the globe when you are 6 years old, and you go through, assuming you graduate from high school, you get through 12 years of school, not to mention, your bachelor's, master's, or PhD, post-education. You're sucked in. You don't even have to tell anything. It's the globe. We all know that's where we live, and that's what it's going to be. So you got to be careful, which is why I kind of referenced it to Fight Club, the 1999 movie. Also, by the way, the greatest year in cinema, 1999. If anyone wants to double check that, look it up. The movie's 1999. That is when cinema peaked out, right then and there. So yeah, be careful who you talk about, like Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Same thing with Flat Earth. It doesn't mean you don't ever talk about Flat Earth. It means you got to size up your audience. Do not go to the dinner table with people that are just, having a great old time, because you will be a massive buzzkill. You'll be a huge wet blanket, and people won't know what to do with you. So, kind of just, all things in stride. All right, I got 3 minutes to the break. Let's do one more email, and then I'll throw the phone number again. If you guys want to talk to me live, talk about anything Flat Earth. I could talk about why some shows, not this show, but a different show, I'm not going to be talking about Flat Earth as much. I'll talk about that in a second. Maybe I'll talk about that before the break, sure. But before that, the phone number, 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111, and I'll pick you up directly. There's going to be a new show coming out. I'm going to be doing a new thing, a brand new website called marksargent.com, and we've got other domains. The producers, I wasn't in charge of it, so there's other ones. I know it's the marksargentshow.com. That is already out there with the trailer. I'm going to be doing not necessarily a daily show, maybe a couple shows a week, maybe depending on if I have guests or if I don't have guests. And every once in a while, I will be doing shows. Yes, it is going to concentrate on Flat Earth, no question. It's going to be linked to enclosedworld.com. I'm still, Flat Earth is the most important thing in my life right now. But I am also going to be doing the occasional show that is not Flat Earth. Now, I probably bring it up from time to time. There's going to be a reason for that, and I'll explain this in more shows in the future, which is I am throwing out bait to other people, other groups out there, so that if you are doing if you're looking for a show on aliens and you run into me doing a show on aliens, then, chances are, you're going to listen to at least for a little while, and then maybe I have a chance to suck you into Flat Earth. There is an ulterior motive there. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this to everyone out there that's listening, who are probably Flat Earthers, is because you just give you guys fair warning. So it's not for you. You guys, if you don't want to listen to something else, unless you really like listening to me, then you can, you don't necessarily have to listen. But I will, on occasion, do non-Flat Earth shows because I want to bring in people that are into other conspiracies into Flat Earth. I know it's kind of happening naturally anyway, but I want to push it. I really want to get out there and get other people into that, because if they look at other topics, they see my stuff, and it transitions them into Flat Earth, and it's totally worth it. I think you would agree. It's worth the extra effort. No. Am I real keen about doing non-flat Earth shows? No. But in my opinion, it's a necessary evil. I'm not going to be shy about saying that. It's not my favorite thing to talk about. I love talking about this stuff. I live and breathe it. But we have to. I want to keep this thing going. I want to keep it. I want to hit other avenues. And of course, I also want somebody to endorse my book, some sort of celebrity. Somebody message, who is it? Kylie Jenner. That would be good. Kylie Jenner was talking about chemtrails a while back. That'd be great if she talked about my book. She's got like 2 or 3 million Twitter followers. Anyway, when we come back from the break, we're going to be taking more phone calls for anyone that wants to talk. I'll be reading more emails, and we'll be just kind of talking about other stuff in general. I'll also put out the solicitation for subject matter experts. So we'll do this right after the break. Remember, phone number 720-897-6111, 720-897-6111. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, and we are in segment 2 of 4 segments this evening. Before we get back to emails, real quick on the phone number, 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. And that will bypass the switchboard directly and go straight to me. And also a quick shout out from a listener out in the UK. I'm going to read it directly. Sent by Jam Jam. Hey, Mark, listening live from the UK. Give me a shout out, please, James. James happens to have the largest selection of Flat Earth items on eBay. Flat Earth and other hot collectibles. Nice title. Great show, too. Keep it up, my friend. Peace. Yeah, there you go, James. There's your shout out. And everyone, go out to his eBay page and check out the Flat Earth stuff. There's going to be so much Flat Earth merchandise. It's too easy. I mean, we have so many flat, round things going on anyway. I mean, clocks, frisbees, plates. Eventually, I imagine you like hubcap covers. Ooh, spinny stuff for your ride. That'd be kind of fun. Anyway, let's get back to some of the emails because I get so backed up emails, and I'm sorry. Again, everyone who's sent me emails, thank you. Be patient. Any ones that are cool, I will read on air. But sometimes, especially on a call-in show, it takes me a while to do calls and emails. So just bear with me. I will get to you eventually. And sometimes I have to copy over. So if it takes a couple weeks, sorry. Maybe when the new show is up and running, I'll be able to do it faster. I'm not sure yet. It's a work in progress. This one goes something like this. Hello, I'm Herc from the Netherlands. Just finished watching your series of All Clues. It's hard to get my head around, but somehow is the globe theory even more. I'm 40 years old now, and I can remember as a child I always was questioning that a globe made no sense at all, even if you take a look at water. By the way, I'm sure English is not his native language, so don't judge him too harshly. How the hell can water bend in such a fashion around the so-called globe? Water is always level, right? With those questions, I already had a child, and teachers found me funny. I can understand the fact that creators want to stay out of sight, or else they wouldn't go such a long way to sow it. Wow. But to presume that our leaders are just human like you and me, but on a power trip. Except power, what's in it for them to be so scared of getting the truth out? Chaos? The world is in chaos as we speak. I fear they don't want the unity. Imagine a world where we understand finally we're all the same and there is no use to fight for religion and whatnot. I see now. When I was a child, I had strong feelings about we are lied to, and now since 10 years, I began to question again. Thanks of LR, the effort you make to create these videos. Best regards, Herc van der Veen from the Netherlands. Remember, if you're writing from another country, use spell checker if you can. I'm sorry, because I'm reading them as is. I do not process these. I do try to fill in words here and there, but anyway. Next one is, first off, I love what you're doing, and I watch and hear you daily along with others, and I can't wait to see how things change so quickly when it's completely uncovered. You taught me how to approach the subject to others the right way, but right now, I don't care what people think if I openly speak about it to anyone, since it's, in my opinion, about to be known all across the earth. Now, what I want to tell you is how the video of the moon landing shows the earth and stars zipping by. When you hear the Lord, asshole nuts say they can't see the stars when they are up there. Another fake mistake. Also, what I think should be done is that all flat earthers should put money together with a set amount of like $10,000 or more that someone can prove the earth is a sphere, can claim with complete facts. I think it will start many on their quest to finding out the truth, and others who are stubborn to question why it's been put out there. Thanks so much, Mark, for caring about others. Julie Stevenson, Hemet, California. Throw out the phone number real quick. Oh, you know what? Subject matter experts. Let me bring that up real quick. If anyone out there in the field, if you haven't listened to my testimony shows series that I have done on this show, I have interviewed a whole bunch of subject matter experts who have talked about the flat earth. No one has talked against it, officially, to me anyway. No one has called me and said these guys are absolutely wrong, but I want to rattle them off real quick. If you are one of these people, or you are related to one of these people, or you were a coworker, please have them get a hold of me. I'd love to interview them on the show and reinforce what we already know. I have talked to, and these are previous shows, you can look them up on YouTube anytime, they're just listed there, as part of the Strange World series: United States Navy missile instructor, Air Force navigator, Marine Corps sniper instructor, Navy submarine chief, Army artillery radar operator, Australian intelligence officer, American flight instructor, industrial engineer, career surveyor, international shipping expert, corporate travel agent, air traffic controller, United States Army master gunner, aviation and ground training combat expert, I'm pretty sure that's Army, USDA surveyor, 32nd degree Mason, and an etheric science researcher. All of them have come forward and said, look, there is something really, really wrong with what they have been preaching to us is the world. It is not spinning. The maps are wrong. And you know what? It's not a globe. So what is it? And all these guys, they're all in sync. They're all saying the same thing. Not one of them has come out and said, no, these other guys are absolutely wrong. They're all on the same page. So find me someone that either comes against it or, that wants to corroborate it. I'd love to talk to them. Phone number again, 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. And also a quick reminder, if anyone wants to debate or you have somebody that's hot on your side, whether it be a college professor or just a guy that runs a website of debunking, they've got to have something. It can't be just some guy you meet at a bar. Jeffrey Grupp, big-time flat earth brain, also known for Zeteticism.com, he wants to debate you. Either on air or off air, as long as it's recorded. He wants to get that sucker out there because he is so confident in his beliefs at this point. He is taking on anyone. He's sitting there with a broken pool cue at the end of the bar going, come on, bring it. So somebody bring it, please, because I hate to see Jeffrey just sit there sad with a broken pool cue on his head. Next one up. Hello, Mark. I've been following your scholarship for a while, and it is truly transformational information. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. There is a reporter from Fox 31 Denver that I have contacted about doing a feature on the flat earth, so she may be in contact with you in the near future. I linked her to your clues, and if she thinks it's newsworthy, she'll be contacting you. Are you going to be doing any book festivals? You need to get your stuff out there, not just Amazon. Every kid needs a copy. I have become a fan and would like for you to get the rewards that you have earned. My family is sending out good vibes your way, in hopes that the revelations provided by your work will manifest large fruit in every area of your life. Take care. Wow, I didn't even get a name on that one. Thank you, whoever wrote that. That's very, very nice. And yes, good vibes. Push out the jive, bring in the love. Thank you. Hey, Mark, I've been out of the flat earth loop a bit, and I've been concentrating on getting laid. Oh, and I am only getting bits and pieces of this sex tape scandal. I simply want to say, I knew it. You are a true American entrepreneurial badass mother effer. I'm not going to swear. What do the haters think men are supposed to do on business trips? That's right, losers. Men get laid on business trips. You know what? I'm going to finish this email, even though it's probably not a good idea. In hotels with hot chicks, because either the men can afford it or the women at these events find men like you, Mark, appealing because you created something. You are leading something and you are pioneering something that is seemingly important. You are in a class of other badasses like Donald Trump. Oh, wow. Really? You, Mark, are the alpha male in this flat earth medium. Run with it, flaunt it, embrace it. And those and those tits, baby. Yeah, mother effer. Yeah. It keeps going. It is truly sad that some of the men, boys rather, of the flat earth culture have exposed themselves as beta male losers that will never get laid, will never become leaders in their careers, and will never thrive in the free world. America, F yeah! That's all in caps. They will never move out of their parents' house, and they are soon becoming a liability to the greatest uncovering, no pun intended, of human history. Dump the dead weight, Mark, and sour like the great American soar. Spell checker. Soar like the great American eagle. Kudos, Mark. Effing kudos to you. Francis Xavier Danis. Francis, I'm going to cherish that email always. I'm so happy that you absolutely did not understand the whole point of what I was doing there, but you know what? It's cool. I appreciate the sentiment, and I'm not going to shy away from it. That's great. Next one. Hello, Mark. Love what you do. Let me get to the point. I remember previous shows where you discussed how many satellites are orbiting the globe. Anyway, after hearing that, I went to Wikipedia, and just as I heard, the estimate was a high 17,000 to 23,000 satellites. The exact numbers I cannot recall, but I saw it. Now, just today, Sunday, May 1st, that shows you how long it took me to read this email, 2016, my husband finds out that there are thousands of miles of undersea cables connecting the world to the internet and how there is no need for satellites. They don't exist, so I pulled up a search to check again how many satellites there are. And to my surprise, the number dropped significantly. I visited multiple sites and Wiki, and they all estimate there's only 3,600 satellites. 1,000 of them are only working, which are operational. My question is, what happened to the tens of thousands of others that were up there not more than 6 months ago? Good point. Remember, the flat Earth is unique in its ability, as far as any other conspiracy goes. It is unique in its ability to create movement on the other side of the chess table. You can say what you want about 9/11, Boston bombing, Sandy Hook, JFK, Pearl Harbor, just about any of the major American wars, but people can find out all they want about it, but it doesn't mean that moves are made on the other side of the table. Flat Earth really prompts moves, big moves on their side, because what we're asking for, they have to deliver. No pictures of the Earth from space, no movies of the Earth rotating from space, all sorts of fun little space things that weren't there that now they're trying to produce in mass, but it's too late. And again, I use the angry wife syndrome, which I think is really, really relevant, which is husband comes home to his wife after 40 years, and his wife says, I'm leaving you. And he said, why? Why are you leaving me? And she goes, well, because after 40 years, you've only brought me flowers once. So what happens the next day? The husband comes home with flowers in his hand. He says, oh, look, you don't have to divorce me now. And she goes, what are you talking about? The only reason the flowers are in your hand is because I told you about them. The one thing that women really hate is they have to tell men things. And that's really what NASA did. From 1972 until 2015, there was literally only one picture of the Earth from space. And then all of a sudden, miraculously, in 2015, because the flat Earth, awakening was happening, they produced another picture in the middle of 2015. The White House tweeted, Neil deGrasse Tyson tweeted, and NASA tweeted it. I don't think that's an accident. There's no such thing as a coincidence. And then the Himawari satellite fired up, and even though that was geosynchronous, it didn't show anything rotating. We still don't have anything rotating from space. The Himawari satellite is, again, why isn't that American? Why is that Japanese? And why did that come up, in 2015? Oh, and that other one that showed the moon transiting in front of the Earth, that was also summer of 2015. All these things that happened in the middle of 2015 when this awakening was happening. It's fascinating watching all these moves happen. So, anyway, before we get to the next email, real quick. 720-897-6111 if you guys want to talk. Phone lines are open, 720-897-6111. And if you don't call, I'm going to keep reading emails. So deal with it. Hey, Mark, I listen to your show most weeks. I've noticed sometimes you get letters from subject matter experts, but don't get them on your show, perhaps because you've already had someone in that field on already. I think it would be worthwhile to get these guys on your show, as perhaps they would have something else to add that the other guy or gal didn't. Maybe it does not need to be an entire show. Perhaps you could record it offline and then add it to one of your mailbag shows. Cheers, pal, Ed. You're absolutely right, Ed. And I do reach out. Any subject matter expert that contacts me, I do reach out. And I do send them an email or a phone call if they leave me a voicemail. In fact, I've got like 9 or 10 voicemails I haven't even answered today. And I will call them back and leave them. So believe it or not, some people just don't get back to me for whatever reason. Maybe they get cold feet. Maybe they didn't think I would ever get back to them. Maybe they were just kind of putting a feeler out there. And it's like, I don't, kind of like, you're asking the girl to dance, and all of a sudden she goes, "Yeah, I'll dance with you," and he's like, "I don't want to," and you run away. I don't know, but I do reach out to anyone that contacts me, and I try to vet them as best I can. So thank you again. Anyone that's in what I really love is the aerospace industry. I would love an ex-NASA person. I would love someone from Space Command. I'd love someone that worked in jet propulsion laboratories. That would really be willing to talk about this. Just kind of, even to their opinion, say, yeah, I think there's something wrong. Not necessarily that, they're part of the cover up, but at the very least to put the doubt out there, because that's really what the awakening has been doing, has been creating reasonable doubt. Lots of people says, where's the proof? Where's the proof of the flat earth? No. It's not how it goes, man. This is like a court case. The burden of proof is not on us. It is on the 500 years of globalism that's on the other side. Flat Earth, all it has to do is create reasonable doubt, and it has done that in spades. It has done that in an excessive degree. We've created so much doubt, and which is why it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's amazing, again, the amount of new people that keep making YouTube videos. And for every one of those people, for every person that's inspired enough to make a YouTube video, think of how many people are out there that are quietly digesting this, that are talking to friends or at least just, resolving it in their own head. It's fantastic to contemplate. Moving on. Oh, wait, I do have a phone call. Sorry, hang on, grabbing you. You are live on Strange World. Are you there? Gotta take the mute button off. 909 area code. Are you out there, man? If you can hear me, but you can't speak because you're actually in the process of being murdered, tap your phone twice. Make a clicking noise or something. Nope. And then he hung up. That's all right. It's fine. Call back when you get a chance. Let's see here. Where was I? Alan writes, "Dear sir, forgive the duplication as I also," and 909's calling back. Boy, you better not screw this up this time, okay? You ready? I'm adding you. You are...
Dear sir, forgive the duplication as I also, and 909's calling back. Boy, you better not screw this up this time, okay?
You got to turn down your radio.
You are, sir, forgive
Turn
the
it down?
Turn down the radio.
Like that?
Yeah, that's perfect. So where are you calling from?
Southern California.
Oh, cool. What?
Is this Mark?
It is Mark. You're live.
Okay, well, I tried calling a while ago, and I let it ring about 10, 15 times, and I finally gave up. So then I heard you say, tap your phone. But anyway, I just got a question.
Yeah.
Is that I was wondering about Rob Skiba, and did he ever come around to being a flat earther, or is he still hanging out?
Between you and me and whoever's listening, which means probably a lot of people, I think Rob is actually on board with it, but he's left himself out. And I think that's actually a good thing, where he said, look, I'm 90-something% a flat earther, but he leaves himself a slight crack in the door so he can escape if this all goes south. He's still afraid, kind of like I was when I started this a year ago now, that I would be wrong. When I put out the Flat Earth Clues, I honestly thought that some physicist, some scientist, heck, just some run-of-the-mill garden variety college professor would contact me and say, okay, you're absolutely dead wrong. Here's why. And it never happened. But I was holding my breath for a while. And I think that Rob is still kind of holding his breath a little bit, but for the most part, I think he's relaxed in it because, his website, which is called testingtheglobe.com, has so much information, at least from a scriptural standpoint, that I think he's in it. I mean, he did a debate just, I think, a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago with a guy, and he crushed him. He just crushed him. And if you can crush, and this guy was a friend of his, and they went on. It was moderated. It was on video. He did such a great job that I fully believe that he's on board, and he's willing to. He's absolutely ready to capitalize from a Christian standpoint. So when this thing finally blows up, and the Christian community wants to talk to somebody, he will be at the forefront.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I seen it too, Mark. And that's another thing too, is that I got all hung up in the Planet 7X situation and everything.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you what, that I just got a little skeptical about sticking my neck out anymore.
Oh,
but,
yeah, you and me both, man. I was a huge Planet X guy. I was absolutely on board with that because all the little stories. It was a great storyline, about the infrared, cameras that they put up in the 80s, and all the satellites and what they were looking at. It was a great plot line, and you tie that in with the Mayans. It was like, wow, that's really, really cool. But then nothing happened, right? And 2012 went by, 2013, 2014. I'm going, really? And they're still kicking that can down the road. There's people now they're saying, to where I said at this point, because Flat Earth changed that so much for me. I said at this point, I've said this on different things, if Planet X rears its ugly head, if it actually shows up, don't believe it. Whatever you see in the sky at this point, do not buy it, because there's only one of two things you could use to get this thing, to catalyze the whole Flat Earth movement. One would be an alien invasion. The other thing would be Planet X. So Planet X is in people's heads. I just don't know if it's going anywhere.
Yeah, I've seen another one put out there today that said something about it's coming back in August now. So
whatever.
Like you said, they keep dragging it on.
Although if it does come in August, that would be a good timing. Would be good timing for it because it's an election year, and everyone knows some really weird stuff happens during election years.
Especially if they're recruiting for the army for aliens.
Oh yeah. Don't they? And I put this for anyone who's watching the YouTube thing. I put a separate video out. I was going to put. It at the beginning and the end of this show, the little video clips, but I thought it warranted its own video, so I made a little 3-minute video about it. This particular show is being dedicated to my favorite sports miracle of all time, Tim Tebow. Just so you know.
Well, the thing that I did is that I was telling people they were asking me all kinds of proof, and I had printed out all of whatever his name's stuff was at, and had it ready to go. And where I took the position is that if it don't happen, I will absolutely be surprised because I was so sure of it.
Yeah.
So when it didn't happen, when it was supposed to, is they all come back and say, well, you said it was going to happen. You said it was going to happen. I said, you guys weren't watching my lips. But anyway, but to be honest with you, is that I'm not quite ready to jump out there yet, and I thought that would be an encouragement when Rob did.
Yeah. Again, Rob's there. He's absolutely he's a smart guy, and he's put himself in a prime position for this thing. If when it cracks open, he will be, again, from the Christian standpoint. There's no one I think is ahead of him, and there's other people that are nipping at his heels, but he is in the prime position for it. The only thing he hasn't done is released a Flat Earth book on his own, and I'm pretty sure he's working on it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, anyhow, I appreciate you taking my call and giving me a heads up on where Rob's at, kind of like where I expected him to be.
Yeah.
So anyway, you have a great evening, and I enjoy listening to you.
All right, thank you very much. Stay in touch.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. And he's gone. Real quick. Okay, so where were we? This was from Alan. Alan says, Dear Sir, forgive the duplication. I also left a message in your voicemail. I greatly enjoyed your video on YouTube entitled They Are Hiding God. I have been studying the Flat Earth issue for quite some time and open to the concept. However, I have come across one issue that is a snag for me that I hope might offer some help with. I hope you might offer. The concept of both northern and southern celestial poles with Polaris and the Southern Cross. If both exist, doesn't that fact give enough perspective to determine that the Earth is round? While I know many astronomical many astronomy, whatever, facts and photos coming from various, I don't think that's a word, space agencies are often fakes. If I can travel to a far north and far south location and film the spin of both celestial poles myself, I can get a perspective for myself. Have you encountered this issue in the studies? If so, how do you overcome the issue to remain consistent with your flat earth beliefs? Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Alan Treffry. Well, Alan, when it comes to, again, the northern and southern spinning of the skies, one goes clockwise, the other goes counterclockwise. I refer back to the planetarium, which is also why I made a planetarium video recently and showed how easy it is to do. And that is, if a planetarium is big enough, right now, if you go into a planetarium, you look on one side and your friend looks on the other side. You're both looking at the belt of Orion. You both see the exact same belt of Orion. But if a planetarium is big enough, if it is really, really big, you can use multiple display systems, and which means you and your friend are both looking at the belt of Orion, and you're both talking on cell phones, and you're saying, "Oh yeah, I'm looking at the belt of Orion," but you're both looking at different belts. And by that I mean you can, with separate projection systems, you can do anything you want. The reason why I mention this, and I will eventually do a series called Flat Earth from a gaming standpoint, because people like to poke fun at me about the gaming standpoint, but that is, we do this in software now. We do multiple projection systems, for lack of a better term. We do phasing, and where everything you see in the sky is based on geographical location, meaning where you are on the ground determines what you see in the sky, because you can't be in two places at once. So who's going to know the difference? So that's where we're going with this. We're coming up on the second break. In the second half, we're going to do more phone calls. Number that you can call in is 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. That'll pipe you directly into me. You're not going to go through the station or any producers or anybody do anything fun. And we're also going to read some more emails, and we're just going to keep it casual and light. Because, yes, I have had a couple glasses of wine already. I was working outside all day. I actually do go outside every once in a while, and I got really tired, so I thought I'd have some wine before I did the show. But now I'm doing tea. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Welcome back to Strange World. I'm Mark Sargent, and this is the second half of our show. We are doing call-ins, we're doing some emails, and if I'm not mistaken, we actually had somebody call in during the break. Are you there?
I am.
Where are you calling from?
Michigan.
Michigan, cool. What's on your mind from Michigan?
Well, this is Dave and the Thumb. How you doing, Mark?
I can't really complain. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thanks. I'm kind of new to your program.
Okay.
And I'm legally blind, so I haven't been able to watch your Flat Earth movie, but whenever I hear cool stuff, it's stuff that I think is, worth investigating, I text it out to, friends.
Cool.
And I've texted your show out, or your Flat Earth clues out, to probably, half a dozen people, and every one of them have watched your movie, and they are all Flat Earthers now.
Nice. Thank you very much. And you're lucky, because I narrated everything. So lots of people tell me they don't even watch anything. They just listen to my narrative.
Okay. I was wondering if it would be possible for you to play that on your show. See, I listen by phone. I listen to the call and listen line.
Uh-huh.
And that, that's kind of new, I think, with Truth Frequency Radio. I used to listen to Chris and Cherie on GCN Live all the time, because they have a call and listen line.
Uh-huh.
And then after about a year or two of listening to them, then they finally put out a number to their program.
Yeah.
And now I listen to all the different shows, and I'm like blown away by some of the stuff. So, I thought I heard it all on GCN, but
got it. Well, do you have access to a PC or a smartphone?
I do, but I don't. I mean, there's one here, but my wife is so busy. I have to have her, navigate everything, and I I don't know if you can hear my grandson in the
I
background.
I can't. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I'll ask Chris and Cherie if they would like me to upload the clues to the station, and maybe that's a possibility. I don't mind. Sure.
I think, if you could play that on your show one day, I think that would be awesome.
Okay.
That way I can tell more people about it, because I can actually give my opinion. I'm pretty much there for the few shows that I've heard, because I think sometimes during the day they replay your old shows.
They do.
On the listen line.
Yeah.
And so I've heard, I've heard a couple of them where you've interviewed some of the experts, and, I'm convinced just hearing what, and then I've heard, there's another show. It's a guy and a girl. It's his name, Jaronism.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
The first time I heard about this was when Chris and Cherie interviewed him.
Yeah.
And then I found the listen line after that, and then I heard your show. I heard who is that guy just talking about? Rob Skiba.
Yeah, he's on.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard him and you interviewing each other, or him interviewing you a couple times. And, I'm like, why would people want to kill you because you say the earth is flat if it wasn't flat?
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Well, again, if you want to refer anybody to the work that I've done so far, it's real easy. I mean, you can just Google 3 words, flat earth clues. You will find.
That's what I tell people all the time.
Yeah, you will find it. It's not hard. I mean, it's on the main website, it's on YouTube, and it's going to be on the new website. In fact, there's like 3 or 4 new websites it's going to be on. So, but thank you very much. And yeah, I'll ask Chris and Cherie if they want me to put the clues up. Maybe I'll compile them into one thing and put it up on TFR.
Yeah, that would be really cool. If I could hear it on the call and listen line, because my wife is so busy. She's got a full-time job. We have, some businesses that we run from the house. Yeah. And I got a 3-year-old grandson that I'm with all, 24/7 pretty much. And I got chickens, and I can't be tied to the computer. I got to be where he is. And I got a phone on my shoulder most of the time. I'm listening to different stuff, and I can take it out to the chicken coop and lay down with him to take a nap, and I still am listening.
I completely hear you, man.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no,
I love what you're doing, and don't let them give you no guff on your back rub. From your mixer.
Thank you. It's very much appreciated. Again, I don't see anything wrong with a massage personally, but
absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, you have a good night. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Moving on with emails, but before that, let's throw out the phone number real quick. It is 720-897-6111, 720-897-6111, and you can call in and talk live, and we'll talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be a flat Earth question. If you have something else, I throwing my opinion on other conspiracies, which is why when I do the new show, I do have an opinion on other conspiracies. I don't like some of them, but others, I'll throw it out there because there are so many that, every conspiracy I think has some shred of validity to it somewhere. Others more than most. And I've got my favorites. Most of them are American, but we'll talk about them. So let's get back to the emails. Hey, Mark, thanks again for the PDF. And what he's talking about is the empty shelves, my survival PDF I give out free to people because, if it helps save one life, well, why would I charge for it? That's just bad karma to charge for it, in my opinion. Thanks again for the PDF and for the reply in general. Looking forward to reading this. Honestly, I'm a big fan of your works. Oh, Lord. The clues especially. I also think it's great that you offer your email address and phone number for open communication. I have a few topics I thought would be productive to discuss with you, namely the sun's pattern of movement and the different flat earth artist renderings being used and how I think they may be hindering the flat earth movement in a minor way, and the claims of flat earth and enclosed world being hand in hand when they are somewhat different things. I honestly tend to agree with you just about everything, but if you ever want to discuss via email or phone, I am happy to. I could write the ideas out in a concise email if it's easiest for you, whichever you prefer, and whenever you're free. Basics about me, originally from and currently living in New Jersey, into fishing and music, environmental scientist for a living, relatively inactive Freemason. Thank you. Looking forward to hearing from you, Evan. Thanks, Evan. Let's see, next one. Hello. So I've recently come across all this flat earth info. My mother was the first one to bring it up to me about a month ago. My initial reaction was anger, and I called her a liar. After all, the schools she sent me to taught me that we live on a sphere, but I really started researching it along with studying scripture, which I personally believe in. Okay, so I've read many things that make sense and the earth has to be flat, and I've been watching some of your YouTube videos. I wonder if you can explain why the flight patterns don't make sense. I know they don't, but my brain can't understand why. Forgive me if I sound ignorant. Maybe I've been taking in too much info. Can you specifically explain to me in detail why they don't make sense? Why they aren't nonstop from certain areas in Africa to Australia? Why? Are they saying they're flying in a different direction? I'm confused. Help. And thank you sincerely, Megan. Megan, you're absolutely right. And again, sorry for taking this one so long to. Maybe you've already solved this by the time I actually talk to you about it. But yeah, that's exactly it. They're hiding the flight routes because the flight routes cannot be what they say they are on a globe. If it's the globe model, the flight routes are one way. But if it's not a globe model, if it's a flat model, that's where the truth really shines, because in a flat model there are no shortcuts. So the easiest way to tell that would be flights that are going from, say, South America to somewhere in Australia. There's no reason for those flights go almost straight north and then go back down to Australia, almost doubling their flight time. I don't care if you're trying to pick up people or not. You're going to find another way. You're not going to go from Rio de Janeiro to Sydney, Australia by going through San Francisco or Dallas or Los Angeles. You're not going up there. It does not make sense. The flight routes are being hidden because the map is flat. There's something wrong with the map. Now, do we have the exact map to scale? We might and we might not. But what we know for sure is it's not a globe. And that's why they're hiding the routes, which is why 90-something% of the flights in the Southern Hemisphere are multiple connections. And I mean multiple connections. Straight flight from South America to Australia or Africa should be just 12 hours across the ocean. That shouldn't be a big deal. But not only do you not see that, not only do those flights go take multiple connections and take 30 plus hours. I've seen some take over 40 plus hours to do it. It doesn't take 2 days to get anywhere in a plane. I mean, really? I mean, we're not talking about, flight where you're actually sleeping in a hotel and getting a new flight. You're just changing planes or maybe staying in the same plane. It doesn't take that long. And the other thing is that those flights, here's the big one, is the flights drop off of GPS. If you believe that the GPS system stands for Global Positioning System, if you believe that it was designed by the United States military, the Department of Defense specifically in the 1990s, that they have 30-something satellites up there that are orbiting the Earth, and there should be blanket coverage. The United States doesn't do anything small. I can tell you that because I live here, especially the military. We have immense budgets, and we spend every dollar and then some. We under budget everything and we overspend. So where are these 36? What are these 36 satellites supposedly doing? There should be blanket coverage over all the oceans. And when your plane gets about 150, 200 miles offshore, which is just outside of land radar range, the latitude and longitude disappear. Your plane is off the radar. Literally, it's not there. Now the graphics still may be there, but if you try to track it, if your folks are tracking you're flying overseas from somewhere, they'll see that the plane actually says approximated or estimated mode, which means they have no idea where that plane is. That's not possible if you're using satellites. Everybody should know where everything is at all times. If there are satellites, we should have multiple blanket coverage. Listen to the testimony expert shows that I've done. If you're ever in doubt about that, they spell it out for you. I've had several guests that have all said the same thing, that the GPS system is land-based, that the GPS system has massive holes in it, and it's not even just over oceans. It's not even just in the Southern Hemisphere. If you're in America, lots of people fly to Hawaii every year. Once you get off of San Francisco or Los Angeles, you're headed out to the ocean, 150, 200 miles off, your plane disappears. The graphic is still there. You can still see the little icon, but they have no idea where you are. It is absolutely off the map. Check it out yourself. if you get a chance. Number again, to call. I know you guys are going to memorize this before too long. 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. And do not call. If you're listening to this on YouTube, by the way, don't call that number if the show's not on. I've seen you guys do this where you're actually calling, you're listening to the recording, you're calling the show. It's like, no, I'm not going to pick up and answer the show when I'm not doing the show. So please, and it doesn't go to voicemail or anything, so I'm not going to. If you want to call and leave a voicemail on my phone, that's a completely different number. That is 303-494-6631. That's 303-494-6631. And that's my personal phone that I've got sitting right here, and that can go to voicemail. But the show, that's a completely different number. All right. Are we clear on all this? Good. Here we go. Next email from Carrie. Hey, dude. That's a great start. I will try and send a shirt so that you won't have to give someone the shirt off your back. That's funny. Thank you, Carrie. That's brilliant. I'm talking about when I took off my shirt to get that massage from the lovely girl from Canada. Last summer, I flew from Maine to Florida and did the level bubble test once we got to altitude. I have pics and videos that show timestamp and even shots out the window. The bubble stayed in the middle of the level on the tray table without any adjustments. The plane never adjusted for curvature the entire flight from latitude 44 down to latitude 25. Have a great day, Carrie Lord. Carrie, thank you for the shot in my ribs about the sex tape. But the other thing is, yeah, great, because I was telling people you really should somebody should take a bubble level and put it on the tray table in front of you when you're flying and see if that bubble stays level. Because if you're flying over the curvature of the Earth, eventually that bubble's going to move because the plane has to adjust for the curvature of the Earth, and it never ever does. So there you go. Next one is from Dallas. I don't know if Dallas is the name or if Dallas is just where they're writing from. Hey, Mark, thanks for your info. Another clue that you may have addressed, but if we travel through the galactic plane, how is it we still observe the same constellations over many thousands of years? Thanks again. Dallas. Yeah, you're absolutely right. More specifically, if you want to look something up, look up parallax scrolling, which is also a gaming term for those out there in the gaming industry, and you know who you are. Yeah. The parallax scrolling means that while we notice it mostly outside of a car window. So like telephone poles will go by really, really fast, but the mountains in the distance, they'll move by very, very slow. Imagine those are stars. So the telephone poles are really close stars, and the mountains are really, really far stars away. We don't see that, even though our solar system is moving through the galaxy at amazing speeds. Where is the parallax scrolling? And it doesn't have to happen in a day or a week or a month or a year, but the constellations, if there is parallax scrolling, the constellations should move. And the last time I checked, the constellations never ever move. Oh, call coming in from 562. Let's pick this up real quick before the break. You are on live, Strange World. Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mark, Southern California.
Cool. I like SoCal. What's happening down there?
Just trying to spread the word.
That's cool. That's awesome. Did you have any questions, thoughts, anything you wanted to mention? Something like that?
You know what I've heard you say before that you can't see the dome, but I think you can see it.
I'm tending to believe that it's possible. I am tending to believe this, and I'll tell you why. It's because I used to go out and look in the night sky with night vision binoculars. And granted, they were only 5 power, but once your eyes get adjusted, it takes like 30 to 40 minutes. I swear, and this was way before I got into flat Earth. I mean, years before. I still have these binoculars. That when I looked up there, I was telling people, I swear sometimes it's so clear that it's like I'm looking at like a popcorn, like a textured ceiling. When I'm looking up there, there's so many stars and it looks so surreal that it looks like I could actually reach out and touch it. And people say, "Oh yeah, this is an optical illusion," blah blah blah. But now I'm starting to think that maybe with the right sort of night vision, if it's high enough power, maybe you can make it out. I don't know.
You know what? I was driving. I live in California. I used to drive to Louisiana a lot, and I would stop in different places and look out at the night sky at night. So one night, I guess I was in Arizona, and it was real high, real dry, and I mean, this was in '94,
Mm-hmm.
and I could swear I could see it looked like a crystal dome, and it looked like a crystal with the little stars etched in it. I could swear, and I made this comment to a lot of different people back then. You know, of course, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, but yeah, and that's what kind of got me. You know, when I heard one guy on the radio, and I thought he was crazy, and then I heard you on an interview, and I said, "Wait a minute, I saw that before," you know, and it got me into it. So ever since then, I've been a flat earther. So
right on, man. Good for you, and thanks, you know, for putting yourself out there, because again, it's a tough thing. It's the worst part about the Flat Earth Awakening, which is that nobody, you know, everyone braces against it. Everyone braces against it, including.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know, I laughed and made fun of it and said, I said out loud when I was watching my first videos on it, I said, you know, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And then I was dumb enough to actually look in the box, and now, well, no.
But what I don't get is the public ridicule, you know, like on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter a lot looking at it, and calling people idiot and moron. I mean, how do you do that?
It's the conditioning. Some people are worse than most. Yeah. We fear what we don't understand. I could throw a dozen cliches out at you. It's just because everyone's conditioning is a little different, which is why, you know, like some people, it's just because they're grade school and high school. Some people, because they went through their bachelor's or their master's, their PhD. And depending on what they studied, if it's anything that ends in an ology, then they're going to have a really, really hard time with it. And if you're like a fan, think about the people that are just fans of space, you know, the people.
Oh man, I was a big time Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate. You know, I was crushed. I mean, I was literally crushed.
I wasn't crushed, but at the same time, I wouldn't watch them the same way. I mean, I understood the fantasy aspect of it, but I didn't use it. Like, for example, I'll never watch Gravity again, and that was nominated for an Academy Award. I think it won an Academy Award. Stuff like that, but like little things, you know. Now I like appreciate 2001: A Space Odyssey more because I know that was a film study on how to fake things on film. When it came to space. So
and one more thing, I always think about what you said. You know, why does certain things act a certain way? Like I was thinking about fire. So why does fire burn? You know, and you said that because it was programmed to do that, or somebody said that before.
Yes.
And that's all. You know, why does gravity work?
Why does gravity work? It's because it was built to work that way. It wasn't, you know.
That's the way it's programmed to work.
I'll say this in my new series that I'm going to be working on, Flat Earth from a gamer's standpoint, which is God's a programmer. I think I should probably title one of the videos that. But this is what I firmly believe. I mean, people say, well, you know, God works in mechanical ways. Yeah, well, maybe, but I think there's some software there too. I think God is a world-class programmer. No play on words there. So we'll see. You know, I'm fully believe though that something is coming, and there's going to be a big revealing, which is why I'm trying to force myself to change my words from a flat Earth movement to a flat Earth awakening. So anyway, thank you.
We'll be right there. Glad to talk to you, Mark, and keep up the good work.
Right on, man. You have a good time. See ya.
You too. Thank you. Okay.
Bye. All right. We still got a few minutes to break, so let's give out the phone number one more time. 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. Operator, being me, is standing by. And let's rip through some more of these emails, or otherwise I'm never ever going to finish them. And again, apologies. Anyone who emails me, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to try to read them on air. So if I don't respond to you in email, you may be pleasantly surprised that I read it on air. Let's see. Jeff writes, while others, such as Jesse Spots and Ivy Artists, are actively and publicly condemning the two of you, means Orphan Red and I just wanted you to know I feel they are being petty and envious acting. Please, and I know you will, keep doing all the wonderful things you are doing for the Flat Earth understanding. It's too bad that there are people out there who think they should play morality police. They have their own personal agendas going on. The two of you are very mature, wise, and humble, in my opinion. Love you both and your shows, Jeff. So, yeah, shout out to Orphan Red, who made the video in question. I'm not going to refer people to the video because at this point, you'll figure it out. Paul writes, Mark, the clues were amazing. Loved watching them and being intrigued by time they finished. I am still on the fence with all this, but to be fair, I know the powers that be are lying all the time, which makes me want to jump on your side. I guess the indoctrination I have been exposed to for so long is really the only thing keeping me perched up here. That and the debunkers countering videos as they see fit. My question is this. I heard another truther come out and mention, I think it was PK, P-E-K-Y, 2 of your clues were debunked, but that they were red herrings. Can you tell me which 2 he is referring to? Please, last name omitted if you read on the air. Keep up the great work and keep your investigative side moving again. Thank you, Paul. And yeah, Paul, if you don't want me to read your last name on the air, you got to put it at the beginning. Don't do that because I could have screwed it up and actually said your last name. I don't know which ones they said the 2 ones were debunked. So, because I generally don't watch troll videos or anything. I actually don't even search my name. I don't actually type Mark Sargent into YouTube and see what shows up because I know there's people, saying awful things. So, anyway, thank you very much. The number, of course, to call in is 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. Operators are standing by, which, of course, is me. Moving on. G writes, it is very unfortunate that you are getting so much crap for that little video. I really do not see why. I am a Christian. I don't see why other Christians are giving you the hardest time. It wasn't scandalous at all. Also, many of them are hypocrites because if they were in the room with those 2 lovely ladies, it would have been a different video altogether. It seems like anytime someone who doesn't follow the comfortable lies makes any sort of misstep real or perceived, those who disagree with them use it as a bat to try and beat them down. Please feel free to bring my comments up on your Flat Earth show with Patricia if you would like. Please keep it up, G. And thank you, G, very much. Again, this will blow over like anything. I'm going to pick up a call from 480 area code. You are live, and you're probably going to have to hold for the break. Can you hold?
Yep.
Okay, good. We're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we're going to take this call. It's going to be 3 minutes, just so you know. So hang tough with me for then. When we come back, we'll pick up this call. We'll read a few more emails. And, of course, the number to call is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. And while we're waiting the 20 seconds before the break, remember, Jeffrey Grupp is looking for anybody to debate who thinks they're a globalist and can prove it's a globe. He's going to beat you down with a crowbar. I don't mean that physically. I mean that mentally. That man is a mental giant, in my opinion. Welcome back to Strange World, segment 4, the last segment of the evening. So it's your last chance to call in if you want to talk to me. The number to call, of course, is 720-897-6111. And during the break, we actually had somebody call in. So where are you calling from? Who are you? What do you want?
Hello, my name is Steven. I'm from Arizona. I just recently started listening to the show. My friend Mark in New York is the one who kind of got me to watch it or listen to it, and it's really good.
Oh, cool.
Like the show.
Cool, thank you.
I have a little theory because, up until World War II and the invention of better rockets and better systems of delivering things in high orbit or up into the sky, whatever.
Sure.
They figured out after World War II, or maybe during World War II, that, we want the V2 a little too high, and it gets stuck. Literally gets stuck. Oh, yeah, it doesn't come back down, or maybe it gets messed up, something happens, or once after World War II is done, in the 2-year period between that and 1947, they figure out, okay, yeah, we can't go to space. You go to space and you die. You send anything up there, there is no space. I don't know what it is, but there's something there.
Yep.
So they realize, okay, people figured this out. We're going to lose control because they're immediately going to jump to the automatic narrative that, okay, the book was right and you guys are wrong and blah, blah, blah. And so on and so forth. And things just start to go from there. And they would lose control very rapidly. So they have to come up with the idea to somehow back up the narrative, but not necessarily oh, yeah, here you go. Here's what we believe. So maybe, I don't know, in a small farm in the middle of Roswell, you have one of your weather balloons. Hold on.
Okay.
One of their sorry, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Weather balloons crash in the middle of Roswell or they make something crash. They take one of their debris and they take the debris and they say it's alien craft, it's alien device, and that automatically backs up the narrative without saying there's space, because I mean you never said there's space, you just said I guess a spacecraft was found. Then you immediately cover that up, and it's just like smoke and mirrors with Houdini. That, oh look, now you're looking in the wrong place. You're completely not even worried about the idea that I've lied about space or the fact that we can go there. Mm-hmm. That you're now worried about something coming from that imaginary land of Narnia and attacking you, and all you're now worried about is how I'm lying to you about that.
Yeah,
and you're not even worried about the whole first lie, which was, they can't even reach you. There's no one coming. There's no one coming.
Nice.
And they continue that forward and say President Kennedy becomes president of the United States, figures out, okay, I'm going to set some lofty goals, like we'll set a man on the moon and blah blah blah. They tell him, sir, the best we can do is we can put people in low orbit, in low whatever. So it looks like they're in space, kind of, but not really, and that fools most of the people. This way we can make the whole. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the video, but where they fake the looking at the Earth from like 20,000 or 25,000 miles away.
Oh yeah,
and it's all faked inside the aircraft, and they're actually just a couple miles up.
Oh yeah,
and they fake the whole event to support the narrative. We're up very far away and there's a lot of space and you can get far away, and in actuality there's nowhere to go. So they just got as high as they could, made the images, and looked back down. Kennedy is told this. He's probably going to tell the world. They're fearful, so bam, he gets shot in the back of the head. To continue on with the space program and stuff like that, they had to make sure. Okay, there was always the people would say, and I've always had the belief that if we didn't go to the moon, the first people that would have said, "Hey, they're not going to the moon," would have been the Soviet Union. Yeah. Soviet Union has the same radar systems as we do. They would have been like, I'm not detecting anything going up there. I'm not detecting any radio waves coming from that 250,000 miles away. I don't think you guys left. They would have said something right off, unless they found out the same thing we did after World War II, that, there is no space.
Yeah.
And that means there's God. And then immediately people will abandon our government systems and completely, we'll lose power. That's the only thing they're worried about, is losing power. And not necessarily worrying about the first part, where if there's God, then you're kind of, I don't know, you know what I mean?
I totally hear you.
Offsetting him.
It's good.
You're kind of offsetting him by saying, by doing this. But and then they've been continuously, look at all the big movies, like Independence Day and all those, always backed by military, and that they've kind of pushed the whole concept that, look, they've even had commercials and stuff about them fighting futuristic weapons and stuff back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
They had them fighting these futuristic weapons flying around and UFOs and all that stuff, and it's like, you guys will never fight that.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union is never going to get that. The Chinese don't want that. Yep. You're never going to fight hovercraft.
Yeah, I totally hear you, man. That's you're reading my mind. Absolutely, 100%.
And it's just that. And the weird things that I believe that may be something that no one's ever thought about. Maybe, because gravity still exists. It's just the description of why things fall and how fast they fall. Whether or not it's on a big plane or a big flat plane or a big ball doesn't matter. It's just whether or not how fast the thing falls to the ground. And I have a belief that, just like with Einstein's theory, when he figured out, I can see stars on the other side of the sun, that means light is bent around the sun because of its immense gravity.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's exactly what is happening, but here on a much smaller scale, because the sun's not as far away. Mm-hmm. The light, the stars aren't as far away. So what's actually happening is light does bend around things of heavier mass or whatever.
Yeah.
So what constantly happens is light is like an arc. So, like on the flat Earth model where they have the sun going around, it's just like an arc. Think of that as a sphere. The light itself is like a sphere, and it can only cover so much. And as it gets further away, it looks like it's setting.
and the sphere gets further away from you. Thus, you also get the effect of like you can see the darkness of the sun, of the sky above you, yet you can still see the horizon. And I mean, there's still light coming from the horizon, and that air above you should be lit up by tons of light, but it's not. It's not lit up by any light. It's more see-through than the air that you're looking at through the horizon.
Yeah.
And just like weird things like that. Like I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to take up too much time.
No, it's okay, but no. I love everything you're saying, but I do have to I do have to take a few other things. But thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for having my call.
Hey, you have a good rest of your time. Okay.
You too.
All right. See ya. Bye-bye. All right. Again, the number to call in is 720-897-6111. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. So, let's get another email while I eat a cookie. It's going to be tough to eat a cookie and read this email at the same time, but we're going to try. Hello, Mark. My name is Ben. I've been following your clues as they came out, and it really flipped my world upside down. But yes, I live in the Seattle area and was hoping to meet some like-minded people to talk about this. I've already been called quite a few names and lost friends. As well, when I asked my work if I could take the night off, and I made the mistake of telling them why. Long story short, I hope you have another one in my area, and I feel like I missed once in a lifetime opportunity not to feel crazy or just wanting to talk about this flatness. If there's anyone who is local and wouldn't mind having coffee and talking flat earth with me sometime, I would really appreciate if you could put me in contact with someone. You know what? I'm going to actually put his phone number out there because he's in the Seattle area. His name's Benjamin Rose, and his phone number, well, you can text him at 206-851-1968. That's 206-851-1968. His name is Benjamin. He's in the Seattle area, and he would like to get together with some flat earth people to talk some flatness. So thank you very much. Let's see. This one is by, I don't know who, but let's find out. Dear Mark, what a catastrophe, dude. Like the other commenters on YouTube, I felt quite sick to my stomach. My first version of this email was starting off with, dude, what the heck were you thinking? He's talking about me in the hotel room with those two lovely ladies from Canada. But then I realized you were probably getting more than enough heat from everyone else and you don't need any more from me. So how about a metaphorical ice pack and my 2 cents? I'm addressing this email to both of you, Mark and Patricia, and I'll explain why below. This email is new. Okay. This email is not meant to be read on air or either of your shows. Okay. Well, that I'm not going to read, apparently. But thank you for putting that line underlined in the middle. Wow, it's a big email. So we're not going to read that one. We're just going to keep on going down. We're going to keep scrolling down. This was a big email. I'm sorry I can't get to read it on air, but it's basically, wow, this is a big email. I forgot about this. But it's from Jack. Thank you, Jack. And I know I'm not going to read your whole email. That actually would have taken us all the way to the end of the show. But he said, don't read it on air. It was a personal email about how the whole Mixer bet. But we got another Mixer email followed that. Good morning, Mark. Okay, I've seen the Mixer after party and viewed you and Patricia this morning on YouTube. So my response is, get a life, people. We're all human-like, and we're human and like to kick back every now and then. I really didn't see anything sexual or bad. The Mixer was over and people were having fun. The only problem was that people trying to tie that in with the flat earth. Should it have been recorded and shown? Probably not. But it's been discussed out in the open. So let's all get on with things. Mark, if this is the worst thing that's ever happened in your life, then you've got it made. Perhaps people are just jealous. The whole thing is so trivial, it's ridiculous. One last comment. Of all the female commenters and interviewers, Patricia Steer is by far the classiest woman out there. Enough said. Now back to Flat Earth. And let all the flat minds go back to wondering when we'll get to Mars. Regards, Bob Tidwell. And Bob was one of the subject matter experts that I read. Phone number to call in, by the way, you've got 13 minutes left in the show to call in and talk about whatever. The number is 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. That's really hot tea. I don't know if I can drink a lot of that. While we're waiting, we're going to keep punching through emails. Bob writes, Mark, one last comment. It's another one from Bob. If you had been the one wearing the princess dress, you would have received heaps of good comments and congratulations for coming out with no negativity. You would even have been given your own TV talk show. That's the way our reality has become. As far as what's proper, just watch any sitcom on television. He's got a point there. Although, really, if I would have been wearing the princess dress, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, seriously, I think it would have. That's a mixed bag, because who knows what people would have said then. Anthony writes, Mark, I listened to bits of Hot Potatoes program. It appears there's a lot of criticism of the video of the mixer. I'm sorry to hear about it. What's wrong with a group of people getting together to have a good time? It looks like an attempt to discredit the flat earth theory. Next time you have a mixer, do not record the event. You should not use the word movement in regards to flat earth. It would sound better if you used the word mission. The Flat Earth mission sounds so much better. Actually, Anthony, I'm going to go with Flat Earth Awakening. So I'm not going to use movement or mission. I'm going to use awakening. I know it sounds a little new agey, but I think it's actually very true in this case because a lot of people are awakening to the whole concept. And really, what other word do you have to describe it? If the whole world wakes up, and snaps out of this thing that they're in, what else do you call it? I think an awakening is a good one. Hey, Mark, I don't know if you ever noticed my comments on YouTube. My channel name is SAG December 15th. I can't imagine a straight guy who wouldn't love to be in the position you were in with the two you were there with. My only sadness would be if the three of you didn't have an awesome threesome. I can't imagine any male not wanting that situation, even if they were gay. They just may choose different others to make up the three. With all the condemnation out there, I just thought I'd give a private high five and say, way to go, Mark. Well, it's not that private because I write it on air. Sorry you caught such flack for it. Reinforces why I never do a video with me in it. I'm just the audience. I have MS and can't handle much stress. Thanks for all you do, all you put up with it, and how you handle it all, and so it goes. Jim writes, hey, Mark, how are you doing? You're going to be famous one day because Flat Earth is going to be revealed to everyone. Do you think we're getting close to that day? Maybe it's already happening. Who knows? That would be great, wouldn't it, Jim? Mess with Jim. Lorelei writes, I sit and work at work and laugh for no apparent reason because I've got an earplug in my ear and I'm listening to you. Lorelei, and she's in dispatch. Steve writes, Jesse Spots is an envious, sniveling worm. Forgive my upcoming language. I am not religious, but I think you are. Orphan Red and Melody are hot, capital H-O-T, and you're the man, period. Thumbs up from me, bud. No details needed, but honestly, who cares, all caps. Jesse Spots does, but that's because he's a chump. Oh, God. Who is he to judge and make assumptions on your character or theirs? How is that Christian? Shirtless massage sex tape? Come on, Jesse. Get out of the 4th grade. Anyway, good for you, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Grandma Candle writes, that's a great name. That's like a band name. Seriously, Grandma Candle. Dear Mark, I was so pleased when I heard your interview with Orphan Red and you mentioned the Flammarion woodcut. I have been looking for a way to find out what that picture was called so I could order one. I was always fascinated with that picture represents, and now with your enclosed world studies, it makes a whole lot of sense. Keep on keeping on, Grandma Candle. Number to call in, you got 10 minutes left, and I'll take all callers. 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. Don't be shy. I won't be too hard on you. Hello, Mark. I appreciate what you're doing and find your clear speech an important part of communicating effectively. To that end, I feel that correct pronunciation of common words, oh boy, you see where this is going, is an important detail and it can only help your cause. Specifically, I hear you pronounce the word etc. as etc. as X. Okay, he's spelling it differently. So it's spelled E-T-C-E-T-E-R-A, and I'm pronouncing it E-X-C-E-T-E-R-A. Please don't take my word for this. Look it up in any dictionary, and you'll see that there is no X in etc. I think we all do that. We all say etc., but it's actually, there's no X in it, so it's etc. So, all right. Other than that, I much appreciate your Flat Earth. I'm going to have to remember that. I much appreciate your Flat Earth presentations, although I wish that people would awaken to other fundamental realities affecting all of us in a most shameful manner, particularly in America, where freedom and unalienable rights are purportedly the foundation of all civilized human interaction. as absurd as living on a spinning ball. And all that implies is, how can it be that countless people buy homes and land in the free nation in which they were born and do not question when counties, cities, and states, corporate entities, demand payment of property taxes from the owner, much less recognize such action as unconstitutional, lawless, extortionate, and criminal? Is that really any less stupid than the obvious absurdities, once the facts are clearly presented, of a spinning globular Earth? Which revelation and subsequent comprehension has the more immediate impact on quality of life? While mindless acceptance of unconstitutional taxation of private property is only one example of the fundamental problem, the deception, manipulation, and outright fraud perpetrated by NASA applies to most, if not all, government or government-supported agencies, but NASA is not the one claiming deductions from your paycheck or sending you a tax bill. Why is public awakening so slow in coming, and why are the most important truths the most difficult to convey? The simple fact is that if we were not for the blind acceptance of or compliance with certain government agencies and their lawless activities, NASA could not exist. In other words, NASA and a globular Earth are a symptom of a more insidious problem, and last time I checked, treating a symptom is not a cure. That's from Ellie. Thank you, Ellie, and thank you for the lesson in pronunciation. Etc., not etc. I don't know how we got on that. It's probably an American thing, like nuclear. We screwed that up. So I think we screwed up etc. as well. In other words, we bastardize a whole bunch of stuff when we get a chance. Mike writes, "Hey Mark, I live near where the film Truman Show was filmed. There is a star party scheduled May 27th. Moon will be about 60% full. I was wondering if you or anyone has ever crashed a star party or just ask a few questions. Or is this an activity that would be most likely met by a crowd with torches and pitchforks? Besides bringing a laser temperature gun and showing the temperature discrepancies between moonlit surfaces and surfaces in the moon shade, what would be some good questions to throw out there? Maybe you can discuss on your Tuesday night show. I'll be listening as always. Stay flat, Mike Seal." Yeah, if anyone's down in he actually didn't say where the Truman Show was filmed. I thought that was in Florida or somewhere on the East Coast. But yeah, if somebody wants to go to the star party scheduled May 27th, I don't know why they're doing a star party this year. It must be it's not a 10-year anniversary. It's not even a 20-year anniversary because I'm pretty sure that movie was 1998. I think it was in 1996. In fact, I'm almost sure it was 1998. Don't know why they're having a star party, but yeah, if anyone wants to go down there and shoot some video and just say, hey, do you know the Truman Show has helped resurge the Flat Earth Awakening? It'd be a great video. I'd put it on my channel if anyone wants to go down there. Somebody is calling in from the 502 area code, and this could be the last caller of the night. Shall we get it? Let's try. You are on live, Strange World. Who are you? Where are you calling from? What do you want?
Hey, Mark, it's Brian. Myself, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, doing great. I had just one issue.
Yeah.
All the emails have come in.
Yeah.
You realize the problem with the video you had, the biggest problem you've got?
What?
Is you probably ruined any chances with George Clooney now. I'm just saying.
That's good. That's good. I didn't get that for like half a second. The George Clooney thing. Yeah, because I joked about how I look up to George Clooney as an actor. I think he's a fine actor, and I know people have been joking. It's like, well, are you saying that you're gay? No, I'm not. But yeah, you're right. Being in a hotel room with two girls probably is not going to help my chances with George Clooney or Ryan Reynolds or Brad Pitt, for that matter.
Nope, you've blown it. See?
Thanks. Thank you for pointing that out. Hopefully he won't hear this and he'll be like, wait, George Clooney is totally straight. There's nothing I could do with George anyway.
Nah.
Thanks, man. That's great.
Now that you've seen you without your shirt, you lost it.
Yeah, I know. But that's okay.
Hey.
Again, I think actually it was all in good fun, and there wasn't anything super seedy about it, and it's not like there's a second tape out there,
No, there's nothing.
So it was fine. People just kind of jumped on it, and you know what? I will say this: it got way more attention than I thought it was going to. So,
True.
Yeah.
One serious note, though. Something I figured out.
What?
On the southern stars, because that's always been a problem with me.
Yeah.
Is I realized looking at the southern hemisphere, the only three continents, South America, Africa, and Australia, really, are separated so far by ocean. I have to admit, your theory of projecting specifically in those instances could actually work.
Yeah?
It's a theory. It's a sound theory. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
Because, in the northern hemisphere, we got the landmass all the way across so everybody can see at the same time.
Yeah.
We don't have that in the south.
Good point.
Because by good design, they're separated in the south so far.
Interesting.
Something for...
All right. Food for thought. Yeah. No, I'll look into it. Right on.
But yeah. Hey,
and by the way, you should ask me because I forgot until right now, but I've never missed a show. What haven't I brought up yet in the fourth segment?
What's that?
Well, I forgot something already, but the show's not over yet. I forgot to say yes. That music that led us into the fourth segment, yes, that absolutely was Joe Jackson, and that was Steppin' Out, and from his album Night and Day.
You had to step away for an emergency, and I missed your intro. I figured you would do it. You didn't do it. You disappoint me. Again. So
no, I've never missed it, but look, I was tired. I was helping somebody create a flower bed all day today. It was like 75 yards long, and I was so tired. But I just realized I was going, wait a minute, I haven't said Joe Jackson yet, but at least I didn't make it to the end of the show. So my track record is still good.
You're good now.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. Have a good
all right.
Next 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Talk to you soon, man.
All right, later.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, can we do one more email before we go? We got 2 minutes left. Oh, this email's too long. Let's go. Let's cut. Here's a short one. Okay. Mark, have you seen the stuff on this person Jesse Spots is putting up on you? What is it with this guy? Did you hit so close on things they're bringing up for shills like this and trying to discredit you? I mean, I have no idea if there's any kind of video or not. And I really don't care. Hell, I was just sitting there watching Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton on the best little whorehouse in Texas, LOL. But I can tell you one thing, buddy. You just keep cranking out the logic. That is what is important. And then just let people decide for themselves. I can't believe that individual is acting so self-righteous like he never done anything in his whole life. That is just kind of makes me sick. I wish you could hear the sincerity of the inflection in my voice, but this is just an email. So anyhow, I still support you. There's no two ways about that. Just wanted to let you know. So have a good one. I'm sending a picture of one of my Moldavites, just in case you don't know what that is. Andrew Lee from Moldavite Collectors. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, we're going to wrap the show up real quick here. Thank you to everybody that's called in, everybody that's sending me emails. Everyone wants to debate anyone on Flat Earth, let me know, and I will set you up against Jeffrey Grupp. And next time, we'll probably take more phone calls. Another thing, of course, is, you know what? The 10 Commandments, nobody memorizes them, but I only memorize really one thing, and that is treat others better than you treat yourself. If you do that, the world's going to be a better place. Also, check out, of course, my YouTube channel, Mark K. Sargent, if you're not already on there. And there's going to be a new website out. It's already marksargent.com and the marksargentshow.com. We're going to start up things pretty quick. We're going to do a show. It's going to be a big success, hopefully. What else? Anything else? Can you think of anything else? Remember for next time. Remember to call in next time. It's Tuesday nights on TFR. Check the schedule just to be sure, but it's 720-897-6111. And yeah, call in live. Talk to me if you want. I'm going to keep doing call-in shows for as long as I can, at least until, something horrible happens or the suits and sunglasses show up for me. So with that in mind, all the mail that came in, of course, was because of my lazy secretary. That was from my secretary's desk. Oh, crap. We got to go.